Hi, good morning. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Delinda.
So Lisa is in her usual, she's always in Las Vegas, or pretty much always,
Yep.
for our shows anyway. And I am in Kansas City this week. So for me, it's an easy 9:30 morning.
Just rub it in.
I know, but like I told Bill, I said, well, I kind of feel sorry for Lisa tomorrow morning because she's got to do the 7:30 gig. It is a different feeling. I mean, I'm like, oh, I had plenty of time to get going this morning. So
Yep.
We'll see here. We'll always, as always, give a little a minute or so for people to get hooked on and get over to the right place. I see one person here. Let's see. Somebody gave us a thumbs up, I think. I'm wondering who that is. Oh, Sherry. Hi there. So Sherry, I have down that you're coming to our luncheon today. Is that correct? You can send me a little chat there. You can send me a message in the chat box. So yeah, so I have down, matter of fact, I have you down for 2 days for both Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's exciting. I look forward to seeing you if the meetup has that correct. So that's why I thought I'd ask you myself.
So while we're waiting for people, the curiosity in me needs to know what happened to your hand.
Oh, you can see it? Oh, you can see it. So I had some surgery on my hand yesterday. I actually had a cancer place on my hand. And the good news is that they went in the one time and they got it, and they didn't have to go back in again for a second time. So that was really good.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, I have very fair skin, and I said to the doctor yesterday, I said, so is this like going to be a recurring thing? And he says, well, he says, you know, once we have one, he says it's about 30 to 40% chance. And he says, but you're keeping on top of it. So as long as we catch them early and can get in there, and normally they're like those little precancerous places, and they just burn them off. And every time I go in, I have a few to get burned off, which is okay. I mean, you know, what a blessing that they can find those and do something ahead. So those of you, if you've never had your skin checked, I would highly, highly recommend it. You know, especially if you're in our age group, because we all grew up with no sunscreens. And although I was not a sun goddess by any means, my body just wouldn't take it. After an hour, I was done. I mean, it's like literally.
Yeah. Like my grandfather had the same problem as that.
Yeah. So anyway, but this one had gone far further, but it had only been 6 months since I had been checked. So I just knew, that this was weird, and I thought this looks weird. Maybe I should go check it. And sure enough, it was. So, but so it's a little. So that's so interesting. All I see is my neck up, but you're seeing my hand, or you can see it when I do this.
Yeah, you had lifted it.
I'll do my wave.
You're doing your wave. Hi, Karen. Karen says good morning.
Oh, hey, Karen, good morning. Good morning.
And hopefully our comments won't be lagging this time.
Yeah, that was a little strange last week, wasn't it? That we didn't even see until almost the end of the show.
Yep.
So
what are we talking about this morning?
Say what, huh?
So what are we talking about this morning?
Okay, so we're talking about that it takes more than talk to connect. And I think we all want to connect with people, and particularly, I mean, here we are on Facebook, so we're wanting to connect and engage. And many of our listeners go out and actively do networking, you know, go to the various lunches and things. And we want to be able to connect more than on just a surface, hi, how are you basis. So Lisa, I'm going to be starting a series, and I'm going to be teaching on John Maxwell's book that is called Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. And so I want to just pull one little nugget out of that this morning. So we're going to talk about that.
Oh, how fun.
But the series that I will be posting more information is going to start on October 1st. They're going to run the 5 Tuesday nights in October. So if y'all want to kind of look at your calendar, and if I have enough interest, I will do it on another day, like sometime during a daytime period, because I know a lot of you would rather do some of these things during the day.
Right.
And it will probably be an hour and 15, hour and 30 minutes, depending on how many are going to be in the class or in the workshop. So I'll be sending information on that. Because what I found is as I've been going to these is I hear people say, well, networking doesn't work, or I don't know what to say, and all that kind of stuff. So Hey, Kathy, good morning. I see her over. Oh, and Allison. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are seeing people this morning.
Yes.
Oh, Allison said she had a malignant on her arm.
Yes.
So I think you had a little of that surgery thing too.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, so if you want to mark your calendars for that, and basically I'm starting a new just series of teaching that are going to come under the umbrella called Develop and Flourish, because I think as we develop ourselves, as we learn more, we're never going to move along in our business or in relationships or anything until we're really developing ourselves, becoming more aware of ourselves. And as we grow, what just naturally happens is our business grows, our relationships get better, and all of that. So that's my way of offering some things out there for people who want to take that next step in their growth pattern. So,
yeah.
So today's topic is listen. So Lisa, when somebody says, "Are you listening to me?" what do you think about? Let's just like an overall general thing. It's like, okay, let's listen better. What do you think that means?
Oh gosh, listening is something I struggle with all the time because my brain has little bunnies in it running around. And so, with ADD, and so I tend, even when I want to listen to somebody, but I'll be like trying very intently, and if they talk, my brain can just run off. And I know there are a lot of people who have, attention challenges, especially due to our electronic devices and things like that. So, but the way that I think of listening is more than just sitting there and hearing the words. There's an active process and engagement that has to take place in terms of listening. But I'm not sure if that's what you were seeking for.
Hey, when I throw those out there, all I want is what you think. I have no preconceived ideas of what I think you should say. For our listeners as well, those that are listening and watching us this morning. So I think that there's a couple of things in particular that I think that can help us listen. And one of them is to be intentional about it. Again, exactly what you say. I mean, sometimes we're sitting there and we're just we're just hearing the stuff and the words and all this. I can't do that. are doing this, and we're really not focusing. We're not being intentional.
Right.
And it's important when we're like sitting down having a one-on-one or in a small group where we really, well, let me step back even further. Do you really want to hear what they're having to say? Do you really want to know what they're having to say? And that is the thing. So, let's take a step back. Let's assume for the moment that you really do want to know about this person. So let's take it from the place of we're sitting and having coffee with one person, maybe two, just really small, intimate group. And people start talking about certain things. And when you really want to know what they have to say, I think we really have to be intentional. And part of it is looking straight at them. And I mean, not staring, but but listening and absorbing what they're saying, as opposed to I had a gal last night at our Fun Fearless that said that she had gone in for an interview, and twice during the interview, the guy took his watch, and she said he didn't look at her. He was looking around the room. He looked at his watch, and she said it took all she could do to say, "Excuse me," like I'm right here. And so that's the thing. If we want to find out about somebody else, if we want to understand where they are, who they are, and what they have to say, it takes putting these other things aside. So like, okay, what is it? What are they trying to communicate to me? What are they trying to say? How can I understand them better? So you really have to be intentional if you want to learn something about the other person.
Right.
And and not letting, Mary Kay Ash was one of the most amazing women in that. And she would have, when we had Mary Kay seminars, and I did get to meet her. It was really a cool thing. She now has passed away, but there are stories about her in the early days and up until she basically retired. She would have lines of people waiting to meet her and just to say hello and have their picture taken. And I mean, her main thing that people said about her is that when she was talking to you, it could have been like the two of you were the only ones in a room.
Mm-hmm.
She was able to she never looked around to see who's coming next. She wasn't looking around to see, is there somebody more important, whatever, not that anybody's more important, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
That she really focused on that and really looked you in the eye, and every person felt like they were the only person in the room. Now that is true listening. That is intentional, block everybody out. And don't we all love that? I mean, when somebody gives you that kind of attention, Lisa, how does that make you feel when somebody really focuses on you?
I have to admit I've expressed the fact that I have challenges